Kapayar, Banyahauda, Banyashala.
Chupa Kapayar, Banyahauda, Banyashala.
Yahaba Shem Yahshua Barakatah.
Yahaba Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Blow it.
Layashala.
Layashala.
Grab that. Right shoulder.
Do we usually blow the horn again, or do we go straight into prayer? Blow the horn one more time. Okay.
That better?
Might want to turn just a little bit. Yeah, that's 12. All right, Amajim, Sar, Yapanya Hakwadum. All right, turn the face to the east. We're going to start with the Lord's Prayer in the Lashawan Kodash and then in the English. Abanawa. Shabashamayim. Kodash. Hayah. Shemka. Yahweh. Malakwithka. Thaba'ah. Ratazayaka. Hayah. Aisha. Ba'arataza. Kawa. Hayah. Bashamayim. Dalano. Lacham. Kal. Yawam. Wasalakna. Chabawathno. Chasalakno. Chabawathino. Wala. Tabi'ayno. Bonasaya 1. Abo. Hawashayno. Mayan. Rai. Kaya. Laka. Hamalakwa. Waha'ala. Watapa'arak. La'awalamyam. Aman.
Now the Lord's Prayer in English. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth. As it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not. Into temptation. But deliver us. From evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
Next prayer is the power prayer. Yahweh. Bahasham. Yahweh Shai. Baba Kushab. Nathan Lanawa. Hakak. Lara Pa'ah. Kal Makala. Wakal Madawa. Hakak. Latahar. Hamatazarayim. Hakak. Lahakuyam. Hamathium. Hakak. Al-Rakawa. Hatama'ala. Lagarashan. Bahasham. Yahushai. The water. Aman.
We need to scoot down a little bit.
Come on, Pastor.
That's better?
Yeah.
There we go. That's better. More in the center.
All
right, now we're going to do the power prayer in English. Lord, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Please give us the power. The power to heal all manner of sickness. And all manner of disease. The power to cleanse the lepers. The power to raise the dead. The power against unclean spirits. To cast them out. In the name of Yahweh Shai. Thank you, so be it.
Next up is the rank and order prayer. Barakatah Yahweh.
Barakatah Yahweh.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Yahweh Shai.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Mayaka Allah.
Wa Allahayim.
Wa Allahayim.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Matazab Ya'ah.
Alawap Yahana.
Alawap Yahana.
Ha Alawapyam.
Ha Alawapyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Ha Saranyam.
Hakwatazayanyam.
Hakwatazayanyam.
Ha Yalyam.
Hakal Yaoyam.
Wa Ha'akhwatyam.
Ha Akwathyam.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Bahasham.
Bahasham.
Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh Shai.
The water.
The water.
Aman.
Aman. Now the blessing prayer in the English. Bless you, Yahweh.
Bless you, Yahweh.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Yahweh Shai.
And Michael.
And Michael.
And the angels.
And the angels.
Commanding General Yohana.
Commanding General Yohana.
The generals.
The generals.
The captains.
The captains.
The officers.
The officers.
The troopers.
The troopers.
And the sisters.
And the sisters.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Yahweh in the name of Yahweh Shai.
Thank you, so be it.
Thank you, so be it. Next up is Psalm chapter 121. Asha.
Asha.
Ayanya.
Ayanya.
Al-Hahariam.
Al-Hahariam.
Ma'ayan.
Ma'ayan.
Yaba'ah.
Yaba'ah.
Isaiah.
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 Ma'aim.
Ma'aim.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Shamayam.
Shamayan.
Wa'arataza.
Wa'arataza.
Al-Yathan.
Al-Yathan.
Lamawat.
Lamawat.
Regalka.
Regalka.
Al-Yanawam.
Al-Yanawam.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Hana.
Hana.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yanawam.
Yanawam.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yayashan.
Yayashan.
Shawamar.
Shawamar.
Yasharala.
Yashala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Shamarka.
Shamarka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Tazalka.
Tazalka.
Al-Yad.
Al-Yad.
Yamyanka.
Yamyanka.
Yawamam.
Yawamam.
Hashamash.
Hashamash.
La'ah.
La'ah.
Yakaka.
Yakaka.
Wayarak.
Wayarak.
Balayala.
Balayala.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamarka.
Yashamarka.
Makal Rai.
Makal Rai.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Athnapashka.
Athnapashka.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yashamar.
Yashamar.
Taza'atka.
Taza'atka.
Waba'wa'aka.
Waba'wa'aka.
Mayatha.
Mayatha.
Wa'ain.
Wa'ain.
Iwalam.
Iwalam. Now we're going to do Psalms 121 in the English. I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
I will lift up my eyes into the hills.
From whence cometh my help?
From whence cometh my help?
My help cometh from Yahweh.
My help cometh from Yahweh.
Which made heaven and earth.
Which made heaven and earth.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He will not suffer thy foot to be moved.
He that keepeth thee.
He that keepeth thee.
Will not slumber.
Will not slumber.
Behold.
Behold.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
He that keepeth Yasha'Allah.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Shall neither slumber nor sleep.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy keeper.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
Yahweh is thy shade upon thy right hand.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
The sun shall not smite thee by day.
Nor the moon by night.
Nor the moon by night.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
The Lord shall preserve thee from all evil.
He shall preserve thy soul.
He shall preserve thy soul.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
Yahweh shall preserve thy going out.
And thy coming in.
And thy coming in.
From this time forth.
From this time forth.
And even forevermore.
And even forevermore. Last prayer chapter, Psalm 83. Allahayim.
Allahayim.
Al-Damayah Laka.
Al-Damayah Laka.
Al-Thakarash.
Al-Thakarash.
Wa al-Thashakwat.
Wa al-Thashakwat.
Al. Kaya.
Kaya.
Hana.
Hana.
Awayabyaka.
Awayabyaka.
Yahama.
Yahama.
Yawan.
Yawan.
Ra'ash.
Ra'ash.
Al-Imaka.
Al-Imaka.
Ya'ai Rayamwa.
Ya'ai Rayamwa.
Sawada.
Sawada.
Wayatha.
Wayatha.
Ya'ai Tazawa.
Ya'ai Tazawa.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Al-Tazapawanyaka.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Lakawa.
Lakawa.
Wanakach Yadam.
Wanakach Yadam.
Magalia.
Magalia.
Wala'ah.
Wala'ah.
Yazakar.
Yazakar.
Sham Yasha'Allah.
Sham Yasha'Allah.
Iwada.
Iwada.
Kaya.
Kaya.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
Nawa'ai Tazawa.
Laba.
Laba.
Yakadwa.
Yakadwa.
Al-Yaka.
Al-Yaka.
Baryath.
Baryath.
Yakarathwa.
Yakaraswa.
Ahalia.
Ahalia.
Adawam.
Adawam.
Wa Yashamayala.
Wa Yashamayala.
Ya Mawa'aba.
Mawa'abwa.
Wa Hagariam.
Wa Hagariam.
Gabal.
Gabal.
Wa Aimawan.
Wa Aimawan.
Wa Aimalak.
Wa Aimalak.
Palashat.
Palashat.
I'm Yeshabya.
I'm Yeshabya.
Tazawar.
Tazawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Gam Ashawar.
Nalawa.
Nalawa.
Imam.
Imam.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Zarawai.
Zarawai.
Labanya.
Lambanya.
Lawat.
Lawat.
Salah.
Salah.
Aisha.
Aisha.
Laham.
Laham.
Kamadyan.
Kamadyan.
Kasaya Sara'a.
Kasaya Yasara.
Kayabyan.
Kayabyan.
Banachal.
Banahal.
Kwayashwan.
Kawashwan.
Nashamadwa.
Nashamadwa.
Ba'ayan.
Bayan.
Da'ara.
Da'ara.
Hayawa.
Hayawa.
Daman.
Daman.
La'ad. Salakia. La'adama.
La'adama.
Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Nada.
Nada.
Yab Mawa.
Yab Mawa.
Ka'irab.
Ka'irab.
Wa Kazaaba.
Wa Kazaabwa.
Wa Kazabak.
Wa Kazabak.
Wa Katazal Manai.
Wa Katazal Manai.
Cow.
Cow.
Nasaya Kamwa.
Nasaya Kamwa.
Ashar.
Ashar.
Amarwa.
Amarwa.
Nayarasha.
Nayarasha.
Lanawa.
Lanawa.
Ah.
Ah.
Na'awath.
Na'awath.
Allahayim.
Allahayim.
Allahaya.
Allahaya.
Shayathamwa.
Shayathamwa.
Kagalgala.
Kagalgala.
Kakwash.
Kakwash.
Lapanya.
Lapanya.
Rawacha.
Rahawa.
Ka'ash.
Ka'ash.
Tabaira.
Tabaira.
Ya'ira.
Ya'ira.
Wa Kalahaba.
Wa Kalahaba.
Thalahat.
Talahat.
Harayam.
Harayam.
Khan.
Khan.
Tharadapma.
Tharadathma.
Basa Iraka.
Basa Iraka.
Wabasa.
Wabasa.
Wapathka.
Wapathka.
Thabahalam.
Tabahalam.
Mala'a.
Malala.
Panyaham.
Panyaham.
Kualawan.
Kualawan.
Wayabakwashwa.
Wayabakwashwa.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Yabashwa.
Yabashwa.
Waya.
Waya.
Bahalwa.
Bahalwa.
Aid Ya'aid.
Al Ya'aid.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Kaparwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Abadwa.
Waya Da'aiwa.
Waya Da'aiwa.
Kaya Atha.
Kaya Atha.
Shimka.
Shimka.
Yahawa.
Yahawa.
Labadka.
Labadka.
Al Yawan.
Al Yawan.
Al Kalha.
Al Kadha.
Arataza.
Arataza. Now we're going to do Psalms 83 in English. Keep not thou silence, O God.
Keep not thou silence, O God.
Hold not thy peace.
Hold not thy peace.
And be not still.
And be not still.
O God.
O God.
For lo,
thine
enemies make a tumult.
Thine enemies make a tumult.
They that hate thee,
And they that hate thee
have lifted up the head.
have lifted up the head.
They have taken crafty counsel.
They have taken crafty counsel
Against thy people.
against thy people.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
And consulted against thy hidden ones.
They have said,
They have said,
Come,
Come,
and let us cut them off
and let us cut them off
from being a nation.
from being a nation.
That the name of Israel
That the name of Israel
may be no more in remembrance.
may be no more in remembrance.
For they have consulted together.
For they have consulted together
With one consent.
with one consent.
No.
Oh, God.
They are confederate against thee.
They are confederate against thee.
The tabernacles of Edom.
The tabernacles of Edom
And the Ishmaelites.
and the Ishmaelites
And of Moab.
of Moab
And the Hagarenes.
and the Hagarenes,
Gabal.
Gabal
And Ammon.
and Ammon
And Amalek.
and Amalek,
The Philistines.
the Philistines,
With the inhabitants of Tyre.
with the inhabitants of Tyre.
Ashur has also joined with them.
Ashur has also joined with them.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
They have hope in the children of Lot.
Salah.
Salah.
Do unto them.
Do unto them
As unto the Midianites.
as unto the Midianites,
As to Sisera.
as to Sisera,
As to Jabin.
as to Jabin,
As to the brook of Kasan.
as the brook of Kasan,
Which perished at Endor.
which perished at Endor.
They became as dung for the earth.
They became as dung for the earth.
Make their nobles.
Make their nobles
Like Oreb.
like Oreb
And like Zeeb.
and like Zeeb.
Yea.
Yea,
All the princes of Zabah.
all their princes of Zabah
And as the Munah.
and as the Munah,
Who said,
who said,
Let us take to ourselves
take to ourselves
the houses of God in possession.
the houses of God in possession.
Oh my God.
Oh my God,
Make them like a wheel.
make them like a wheel,
As stubble before the wind.
as stubble before the wind,
As the fire burneth a wood.
as the fire burneth the wood,
As the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
as the flame setteth the mountains on fire.
So persecute them
So persecute them
with thy tempest.
with thy tempest,
And make them afraid
and make them afraid
with thy storm.
with thy storm.
Fill their faces with shame.
Fill their faces with shame,
That they may seek thy name.
that they may seek thy name.
O Lord.
O Lord,
Let them be confounded
let them be confounded
and troubled forever.
and troubled forever.
Yea.
Yea,
Let them be put to shame
let them be put to shame
and perish.
and perish,
That men may know
that men may know
that thou,
that thou,
whose name alone
whose name alone
is Yahweh,
is Yahweh,
art the most high
art the most high
over all the earth.
over all the earth. Okay.
We gotta do this. With that, we can mashabia, which means to sit. Shalom, Yashala. We're the ISUPK, started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. We've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth of the Bible since 1969. All right. Scoot down a little bit more. For some reason, there we go. All right. And today is ISUPK San Antonio Sabbath service, right? And what we do on the Sabbath service, we read the scriptures in Hebrew, and then we read them in English, right? Because this is our culture, and part of our can you tie that? Okay. And part of our culture is taking our culture back. Part of our culture is taking our language back, taking our laws back, our statutes back, our and those judgments. Everything in that Bible belongs to Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And that is our heritage that the Lord had given us and nobody else but Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right. And this is what we do every Sabbath day. Sabbath day is just as ancient as the Passover. You know what I mean? And it's just as important as the Passover. The Sabbath day is just as important as any other feast day, any other high holy day that the Most High ordained. It's just that important. You know what I mean? So whoever try to change the Sabbath day to Sunday and to worship the sun, that is not correct. That is not correct. So if you're in the Christian church and you're going to church on Sundays and trying to worship on Sundays, you can't worship. You're not worshiping the Lord correctly.
Right.
That's just it. You're not doing it correctly. You know what I mean? You're not doing it at all, because going to the Christian church is the worship of a whole nother God, man. That's Satan worship. You know what I mean? But here in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, we actually serve the Lord correctly because we do exactly what the Bible says, man.
That's right.
We do exactly what the Bible says. And if you don't want to come here to Sabbath service, you don't want to go to any Sabbath service, you just don't care about your culture. You just don't care about your culture, man. You don't care about learning your culture. You don't want to learn your culture. You don't want to do anything to take your culture back. You're not really serious. You're not really serious about the truth. You know what I mean?
Right.
You're not really serious about the truth, man. Because this is where you learn your language. This is where you learn how to be how this we go through the whole Bible. We've been going since Genesis 1.
Right.
Now we're in Genesis 10. And you haven't been paying attention, so you don't know what's going on from Genesis 1 to Genesis 10. It's like I can't even stress how important the Sabbath service is, man.
That's right.
Because this is your culture, Black man, Hispanic man, Native American man. This is your heritage, man, that the Lord given you. The Lord gave us this heritage, man. He didn't give us Catholicism. He didn't give us Christianity. All that was forced upon us by the sword. All that was forced upon us by the sword, man. And we all know this. We just scared. We're just afraid to actually go serve the Lord and be good at it.
Right.
Because everybody be like, oh, I'm good at doing evil. But what if I go be righteous with the Most High and actually be good at being righteous? You know what I mean?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with being good at being righteous. We're good at evil. Let's be good at being for the Most High, man. And that's it. I'm still like, we can go ahead and start.
Okay, sir. Okay. All right, you got that pulled up. Again, we're using the Bible Hub app. Make sure that you download that if you want to follow along. When you download the app, you just click on the interlinear version, all right, which is in the second row. Let me catch up to you. So,
where we at?
We are in Genesis chapter 10, sir.
No, yeah, but what verse? It's like
verse 1.
No, we did verse 1. We did Japheth. We did Japheth. I think we went to like verse 5.
Oh, we did? Okay. Slack.
Because we was at where the Lord separated his tongue, his nations.
Okay, yeah, that's verse 5. Yeah, you're right.
Verse 11.
So you want me to read verse 5 again, or just go to verse 6?
Yeah, we can read verse 5 again.
Come on. All right. Again, we in Genesis chapter 10 and verse 5. My Allah. You with me?
Oh, I was all the way. Oh.
All right, well, y'all getting that together, and you, so
So
last time we were talking about we started getting into the breaking up of Noah's sons, right? Because Noah had 3 sons, and they had wives, and they survived after the flood. So now their sons are starting to have Noah's sons are starting to have sons to replenish the earth, right? So first we went into Japheth and his sons, and then the Lord said that, and everybody after his nation, after his tongue, showing a separance. And we're going to keep reading down Genesis 10, and we're going to keep seeing that how the Lord separated Japheth from his nation, his people, his tongue, right? Because they had their own tongue, and then they're going to go to the next one, and they're going to go to the next one, which is Ham, and they're going to separate those people and his tongue and his nations, right? So you're going to keep seeing that repeat itself, because the Lord separated people even from the beginning. First, he separated Adam and Eve from everybody else, right? Now he's separating Noah and Ham, Shem, and Japheth he separated Noah and Ham, Shem, and Japheth from everybody else. Now he's separating Ham, Shem, and Japheth. The Lord is a separatist.
Damn right.
Go ahead.
Okay. So again, Ma'Allah, Naparadwa.
Are you doing it, or you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
I'm just kind of helping you out.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead. If you could read it, read it.
Let him try it.
Okay.
Naparadawa. Aya. Hagawayam.
Let him try it. We just hear it. Let him do it. If he get it wrong, then we correct him. All right.
Okay.
I'm trying to find my Bible. Oh, go ahead.
But our south. Bara. Tazatham. Aisha.
Read it again. Ayash.
Ayash. Lyson.
Lalashanwa.
Shanwa. Lam.
Lamasha. Pakatham.
Lamasha Pataka. It's like you said.
Pakatham.
Pakatham.
Bagawayam. It's like it. Bagawayam. Yeah, that's what that is.
Bagawayam.
All right, verse 6. It's like you said, what verse we going to?
7 verses. So verse 12, I guess.
Okay.
Or 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah, it'll be 12.
No, it's 11.
Okay, go ahead.
Wabana. Wabanya. Ham. Kawash. Waramayam.
It's Wamatazarium.
Wamatazarium. Why? Pawat. Wapawat.
Hey,
Wakana.
So like, so what's
go ahead, keep going. That's not dry erase mark.
Wakana. Wakanaan.
Verse 7.
Wabana. Wabanya. Kawash. Saba'a. Waha.
Wayala.
Wayala. Wasabata.
Waraima.
Wasabataka. Wabanya. Raima. Saba'a. Dadan.
Verse 8. Wakawash.
Wakawash, Yalad, Etha, Nimrod,
Namarad.
Hawa,
Hawa'a.
Hawa'a,
Hakal.
Hakal, Layawat,
Almost.
Layawath,
Laha.
Laha,
Yawath.
Yawath, Laha Yawath,
Gabar.
Gabar, Ba'arataza,
All right.
Haywa, Hay,
Yeah, go ahead.
Haya, is it Haya?
Yeah.
Gabar,
Okay.
Sayal,
Taza.
oh, Tazayar,
Taziyah. There you go.
Tazayar, this is the
Panya.
Lapanya, Yawam,
No.
it's like Yahweh, it's like it's like Al, Khan, or
Yeah.
Khan, Yalla, Ya'amar, or
Yeah.
Ya'amar, Khan,
Kanamarad.
Kanamarad, Gabar,
Gabawar.
Gabawar, say it,
Tazayad.
Tazayad,
Lapanya.
Lapanya, Yahweh,
Verse 10.
Wa,
Wathahaya.
Watahaya, Ra'ashath,
Ra'ashath. Yeah.
Ra'ashath,
Ra'ashayath.
Ra'ashayath,
Malakathwa.
Mama Lakathwa,
Babal.
Babal, Wa'arak, or Wa'arak,
Yeah, that's right.
Wa'arak,
Arak. Go ahead.
Wa'akad,
Uh-huh.
Waka'ala, it's like
Wakalana.
Wakalana, Ba'aras,
Ba'aratazar.
Oh yeah, Ba'aratazar, Ba'aratazar or Ba'aratazar? Because it was
Shana'ar.
Shana'ar,
Verse 11, go ahead.
verse 11. Mine, Ha'aratazar,
Hawa'a.
Ha'awa, Yasha,
Yataza'a.
Yataza'as, Ataza,
Ashawar.
Ashawars, Wayaban,
Wayaban.
Wayaban, Etha, Nanawa,
You missed the ya. So,
Ya,
Nayan.
Nayan,
Nayanawa.
Nayanawa, Wa'etha,
Rakabath.
Rakabath, Ayar,
Yep.
Ayar, Wa'etha, Ka'alad,
Kala.
Kala.
That's the end of verse 11, sir.
Go ahead. Go ahead in English. I think we went over this already too. I think we went over this already too. Go ahead.
Oh, didn't y'all go extra with
Yeah, no, with Ayara. Go ahead.
Oh, you're right. Okay. Oh, yeah.
That's why it's important to mark it.
Read verse 6. Or this is chapter 10, or this is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 6. And the sons of Ham, Cush, and Mizraim, and Put, is that what you said? Put. Put and Canaan. And the sons of Cush, Saba, and Havilah, and Sabbath, and Ra'amah, and Saba, Teka. And the sons of Ramaha, Shaba, and Dana. Sheba's like,
And Dedan.
and Dedan.
All right. So now first we went into the sons of Japheth, right?
Right.
Then he separated the sons of Japheth all throughout. He separated the sons of Japheth, gave them their own lands, their own tongue, their own families, right? And now he's doing the same thing with Cush. Now, I mean not Cush. Now he's doing the same thing with Ham. Right now, Ham is he got his own children too, and Canaan was first he had Cush, then he had Mizraim, which is Cush is the so-called Egyptians. Then he had Mizraim, which is the so-called Egyptians. Wait, I say Cush is the Ethiopians. Mizraim is the so-called ancient Egyptians, and then Put will be like your North Africans, your Libyans, and things like that.
Right.
And then Canaan will be the rest of Africans, the rest of Africa. You know what I mean? Everybody that falls under like the Mandingo tribe and West Africa that wasn't of Israel. Mm-hmm. That'd be who your Ashanti tribe, your Igbo tribe. You know what I mean? The ones that fall, the ones that don't get the renown of being nobody ever wants to be Ashanti tribe. Nobody ever wants to be Ashanti tribe. Nobody ever wants to be Igbo tribe except what's that dude's name? Polite. Nobody wants to be those things, but everybody wants to be ancient Egyptians, where the Ankh and things like that. Everybody wants to be Ethiopian. You know what I mean?
Right.
Everybody wants to be Libyan. Everybody wants to be North African from Carthage. Mm-hmm. Everybody wants to be that, but nobody wants to be those actual the actual Mandingo tribe and those tribes that are over there. That's why Canaan was cursed. Go ahead.
Click on it. Verse 8, and Cush begot Nimrod.
Right, and Cush begot what?
Nimrod.
And Cush begot Nimrod, right?
Okay.
Keep going. We're gonna talk about Nimrod in the next chapter. Go ahead.
He began to be a mighty one in the earth.
Right. So Nimrod was a mighty one in the earth. Nimrod was renowned. You know what I mean? He was a giant on the earth, like the Bible would say. He was a man of renown.
Right.
Everybody knew who he was. He was a mighty hunter. Everybody was looking at Nimrod like, hey, that's Nimrod. You know what I'm talking about? He was a famous person.
Yeah.
A very, 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 very famous person on the earth. Go ahead.
Verse 9. He was a mighty hunter before the Lord.
Right.
Wherefore it is said, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord.
Right. He had a title. He had a title. It was said he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, and then it was said that Nimrod was a mighty hunter before the Lord. He had a whole title. You know, so yeah, he had a whole title like Alexander the Greek. You know what I mean? He had a whole title out here.
That's true. No, that's facts. Yeah.
He had a whole title. You feel me? So he was very, very, very renowned for hunting, and everybody knew he was great. He was a great hunter, and and everybody gave him a name and gave him that prestige. Go ahead. Oh, you go ahead.
So, like, I just had a question. So when it says that he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, I know that a lot of times when they say before the Lord, that means against the Lord. But is this talking about just in front of him, like in his, like the Most High note? Like, I don't know if
the Most High noticed him.
Noticed him. It was somebody of notice, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of like that modern day, like what you would call a star on the earth, right?
Yeah, basically a star on the earth. There you go. Mm-hmm. Somebody of renown, somebody of famous stature.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Come on.
Like who would be a mighty hunter nowadays? All those generals that be in America, you know, Putin. The Lord sees Putin. You know what I mean? like if Putin might not be like Putin might not be anything to the Lord, but the Lord sees him.
Right.
And you know what I mean? The Lord sees Donald Trump and everything that he's doing. Mm-hmm. The Lord sees that like, you want to be a mighty one, huh? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I'm going to bring your mightiness down. You feel me? You're not going to be mighty when I'm through with you. That's how the Lord is thinking.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
Verse 10. And the beginning of his kingdom was Babel.
Right.
Like Babel. And Eric.
Uh-huh.
And Akkad. And Calneh. In the land of Shinar. Shinar.
Right. So now they're talking about he had lands like that was famous and big for Babel, Erech, Akkad, Calneh, and they were in the land of Shinar. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So now they all have so now it's like a 5-city. You know what I mean? 5 cities in one. You know what I mean? It's like a big New York.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? It's like a New York back in that time.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And that's where he ruled at. That's where Nimrod was ruling at. That's where his rulership was. Keep going.
Verse 11. Out of that land went forth Ashurah, and buildeth not
Nineveh.
and the city Reho, both in Kala.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 12.
Wait,
we
didn't go to verse 12.
Yeah,
so now out of that land, somebody came out of that land and went to what would you call it? Came out of that land and started building their own cities outside of those cities. You know what I mean? Everybody understand that's how the world that's how the whole world was built. The whole world was built like that. Think about when they came to when how America was built. First, it was the 12 those 13 colonies, and then they was coming over. They was going west, and they was breaking killing Native Americans, taking over their land and building their own cities up.
Right.
That's how the world is built. People start at one place, that place gets crowded, they spread out and they keep going and until they reach more water and be like, oh, we can't go no more, or until somebody built some boats or something so they can get over there. You dig?
Right.
All right, let's go back to the Hebrew.
So we in verse 12, right?
Verse 12. Come.
All right, go ahead.
So like
What Ada?
You want it?
Rasan.
Rasan.
Mm-hmm.
Can you do that for me?
Ban.
Bayan.
Mm-hmm. 9.
Remember how it was pronounced earlier?
Nayawa.
Wabayan.
Wabayan.
Hey, pull me some of that, please.
Kala.
Kala.
That's it. The water.
Hay.
Hawa'a.
I need that.
Or Hawa'a. That is Hawa'a. Hawa'a. Ha'arar.
Ha'ayar.
It's like a ha'ayar.
Hagadal.
Hagadal.
Hagadallah. Verse 13. Wamatazarium.
Wamatazarium. Yalad. Atha. Lada'am. Lawada'am. Wa'atha. Ana.
Namayam.
Namayam. Wa'atha. Lahabam. Lahabayam. Wa'atha. Napa. That's the whole name.
Which one you want?
Oh, the very last one.
Oh, okay.
That's the whole name.
Napathahayam.
Napathahayam.
It could be Napathahayam.
Napathahayam. Okay. Wa'atha.
Patharasayam.
Patharayasam. Wa'atha. Kasalathium. Aishar. Yas. Yatazawa. Masham. Palashathium. Wa'atha. Kapatharium. Verse 14 or 15 actually. Verse 15. Wakana'a. Wakana'ain. Ya'lad. Atha.
Tazayadwa.
Where?
Tazayadwa.
That's Tazayadwa?
You're on side on. Back up one word.
Oh, hold on.
Side, now come down. That one right there that says side on. Tazayadwa.
Tazayadwa. Bakarwa. Wa'atha. Het. Hath. Wa'atha. Hayabawas. Wa'atha. Ha'amaria. Wa'atha. Hagar
Ragashai.
Ragashai.
Ragashia. Slaki.
Hagar Ragashia.
Yeah.
Hagar Ragashia.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'atha.
Mm-hmm.
Hawa. Ha.
Kakauya.
Hahawa.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'atha. Hachari.
Ha'ira.
I was like,
Yeah.
Ha'arayak.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'atha.
Hasayan. Yeah.
Hasanyanya.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 18.
Yeah.
Wa'atha. Ha'arwat. Ha'arwa.
Ha'arawadya.
Ha'arwadya.
Mm-hmm.
Itha.
Mm-hmm.
Ha'am.
Hatazamaria.
Hatazamaria.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'atha. Hahamat. Or
Hamathya.
Hahamathia.
Mm-hmm.
Wa'ahar.
Mm-hmm.
Napa.
Napatazawa.
Napatazawa.
Mm-hmm. It's we're doing one at a time. Mashapath.
Mashapath.
Oh, Salakio. Mashapath.
Mashapath.
Wath.
Wath.
Put it all together.
Mashapath Wath.
Mm-hmm. Hakana'ain.
Hakana'ain.
Mm-hmm. That's the end of verse 18, sir.
That's 7?
Yeah, we're
that's
from...
7.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Yeah, that's 7.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Let's go to
back
English.
Verse 12.
Verse 12. And raising between Nineveh. Nineveh, and Kala. The same is a great city. Verse 13.
Wait, read that one more time.
Verse 12. And raising between Nineveh and Kala. The same is a great city.
Right. So now they're talking about it's a great city. So now we went from New York, right, to now we're going to a great city like let's say Philadelphia.
Right.
You know what I mean? Now we went from five cities together being a big great city, and then they moved to another city that was great. Now it's Philadelphia or Boston.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? In around the same area. Go ahead.
Kind of concept. Verse 13. And Mizraim begot Ludium.
Uh-huh.
And
wait, so first they were talking about Cush and his descendants, right? So now they're talking about Mizraim and his descendants. Now, so it must be very important if the Most High is putting this in the Bible, all these lineages. When he said Japheth, he didn't talk about Japheth's different cities or anything like that, right?
Right.
Now but with Ham, he's getting into the gist of things, the different cities, what's going on, and you know what I mean? Who was their children's children? You know what I'm talking about? Nimrod was a renowned hunter and everything before the Lord. So they're getting very specific about Ham, right? So now he wants you to know something about Ham.
Right.
And if you know anything about the history of the world, though they were the Canaanites, they were ruling, Egyptians were ruling a vast part of the world. You know what I mean? At that time, you know what I mean? And they were renowned and they were known. Till this day, we talk about Canaanites and we talk about ancient Egyptians. You know what I mean? So the Lord is wanting you to know these things. All right? Just go ahead. Yeah, you understand that?
Right.
All right.
And Anamam and Lahabium and the Pata.
Right, so all of those are the ancient Egyptians, right? That's Mizraim's children. You know where we at? Genesis 10 and verse 14 now. Go ahead.
Verse 14. And Patharusim.
Uh-huh.
And Casalohum.
Right.
Out of whom came Philistine.
Right, now you're talking about the Philistines. You feel me? Now Philistine is the progenitor of the Philistines, right? Was it who was it? King David. King David killed Goliath. Goliath was a Philistine, right? Now we're talking about ancient ancestors. Now we starting to get into the gist of it.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? That's why he wanted you to know who came from who and who came and where they came from.
Right.
You know what I mean? Go ahead.
And Caphatorium.
Right.
Verse 15. And Canaan begot Sidon.
Now we're going into Canaan's history. The another son of Ham. Now we're going into Canaan's history. You got something to say? You raising your hand or?
Nah, sir.
All right, go ahead.
His firstborn and Heth. Verse 16. And the Jebusite and the Amorite and the Girgashites.
Stop. Well, let's keep reading. Let's keep reading.
So verse 17. And the Hivites, like,
and the Arkite
and the Sinite.
Right.
Verse 18.
Stop. If you know anything about those 7 nations right there, those are the 7 nations that the Lord brought into our hands and we slayed them in Deuteronomy Deuteronomy 7:1. Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter, the 1st verse. Those are the 7 nations that were more mightier and greater than us, that the Lord brought forth to us, that we slayed. If y'all know anything, y'all remember that in Deuteronomy 7:1. Do I need to pull the precept? Do we need to read it? Go ahead and read it. No, Deuteronomy 7.
Oh, you want me to get that while he's holding that, or what's up?
No, you teach y'all. Go ahead and. You gonna read it? Go ahead.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 1. When the Lord thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it,
right,
and hath cast out many nations before thee,
right,
the Hittites,
that was one of them,
and the Girgashites,
that was another one,
and the Amorites,
right, that was another one,
and the Canaanites.
The Canaanites, we already talked about. Canaan. Though these are all Canaanites, but these are different. What would you call it? Different tribes of Canaan. Right. Go ahead.
And the Perizzites.
Right.
And the Hivites.
Yep.
And the Jebusites.
Right.
7 nations greater and mightier than thou.
Right. Mightier than thou. Keep reading.
Come. Verse 2. And the Lord thy God shall deliver them before thee. Thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them.
Right.
Thou shalt make no covenant with them.
Stop. He says, "Thou shalt make no covenant with them."
Right.
So Ham, right? Ham is the progenitor of the dark nations, right?
Right.
Of the Africans, right? And he said not to make no covenants with them, right? So what are these old Egyptologist nuts talking about? Talking about they Africans and things like that, and want to take on their culture and don't want to take on their own culture of the Bible, right? What's wrong with these nuts? The Lord just said, don't make no covenant with them. The Lord said that. Thou shalt make no covenant with them. We destroyed them. Why should we make a covenant with them? You know what I mean? The Lord brought them into our hands so we could have the land of milk and honey. That land that Canaan was living in, and that's now our land. We destroyed them, but then now they want to make covenants with them and want to make peace. That's because they're ashamed to be Israelites. They're ashamed to be the greatest people on this planet. They're ashamed to be us because we go through so much, because we're at the bottom of the bottom because of our sins towards the Most High. They're ashamed. They're ashamed of that. Like Captain Katz's I was bringing out on Thursday's scripture breakdown. Y'all remember that? You remember that? He was how he was talking about we were ashamed. They were ashamed to be what they were. So now they went to go hide into other cultures.
Right.
That's what they do. They will go and hide into other cultures when we are the greatest thing on this planet because the Lord said so. Now let's go back to Genesis 10. Throw out for reading that.
Verse 18. And the Arvadites and the Zemarite and the Hamathite.
21.
Right there, Hamathite. Hamathite,
Hamathite.
and the Hamathite. And afterward were the families of the Canaanites spread abroad. It's like,
So you know what I'm talking about. Now the Canaanites, their families are spread abroad. They're, you know what I mean, they're over a vast part of the of land. You know what I mean?
Right.
So now they're starting to spread out. And ain't Africa like the biggest continent or something like that? You know what I mean? So like they're talking about them because they had great cities, big cities, you know what I mean, great places to go, and even we know that now because they even still talk about them like they're just the greatest thing ever, even though they be what do you call it? They bathe in cow piss to keep the mosquitoes away. You know what I mean? They were there eating each other. You know what I mean? And but they still talk about them like they're just so great and so powerful because back in the day they were great and powerful. You know what I mean? Remember when we left Egypt, Egypt was the greatest thing on the face of the earth. We went into Egypt running from a famine. You know what I mean? And we stayed there. Egypt was the greatest thing on this planet, the greatest superpower. It was like the America of its day. You know what I mean? It was the greatest ever, renowned. Everybody who knew about Egypt knew what Egypt was. So when they was figuring out that the Most High put plagues upon Egypt for the Israelites, they was like, what God do y'all have? Y'all have a terrible power. You know what I mean? Y'all have a terrible power to defeat Egypt, and y'all only a small group of shepherds. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you feel me? They was looking like, you know what I mean? The whole rest of the world, like, so when we was going into Canaan, the Canaanites was looking at us like, we know who y'all is. Like, you feel me? That's why when we came through with a great slaughter, the rest of Canaan heard. All the rest of the Canaanites heard. The Canaanite kings, they heard about it. Right. They heard about us. We're coming. That's why they was ready for us when we got there, and they still couldn't do anything because the Lord was with us. Mm-hmm. And that's your 7?
Kind of constant.
All right, with that, Amajim. Blow that horn.
La Yashala.
All right. Next. You know what I'm talking about? Ooh-wee. Next reader. My boy.
Shemawan. Ban Yahawada. Ban Yashala.
Shemawan.
Ban Yahawada. Ban Yashala.
Y'all Bashim Yashabaratham.
Y'all Bashim Yashabaratham. Nah, don't say that.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. Ooh, take it to the face. That we can shop you with me to say. Officer Knox, you can go ahead. You can jump in whenever you want to and say something. You know what I mean? You ain't got to working on your camp lesson. I know you're working on your camp lesson over there, getting it in. I know it. I think we stopped at 19.
Yeah, that's what we're picking up on. Right. So Genesis 10 and 19.
There's 32 verses in the whole in this chapter, right?
Constant.
Man, we ain't gonna get to chapter 11. Wait a whole nother week.
So Genesis 10 and 19. Okay. All right. So Waya. Haya. Mm-hmm. Next word. Gabawal. Mm-hmm. Ha Kanaanya. Mm-hmm. Ma Tazayadwa. Mm-hmm. Ba'aka. Mm-hmm. Garara.
Gabra
Mm-hmm. Aid.
Aid
Mm-hmm. Isaiah.
Azah
Mm-hmm.
Bo
Mm-hmm. Baka.
Baka
Mm-hmm. Sadama.
Sadama
Mm-hmm. Wa Ima Ra.
Wa
Mm-hmm.
Wa
Wa I Ma Ra.
Wa Mora
Mm-hmm. Wa Adama.
Wa Adama
Mm-hmm. Wa Tazabiam.
Watazabian
Mm-hmm.
Aid
Mm-hmm.
Lasha
Khan. Verse 20.
20 Elah
Allah. Mm-hmm.
Bana
Banya.
Ham
Khan. This word right here, boy. Just want to take it one letter at a time. Lamasha.
La Mashab
Like Lamashapach.
La Lama
Shapach.
Shapath
Thumb.
Shapatham
Mm-hmm. Lasha Natham.
Lasha Natham
Mm-hmm.
Ba
Mm-hmm. Ra Tazatham.
Tazatham
Mm-hmm. Bagawayam. Bagawayaham.
Bagawayaham.
Mm-hmm.
It's 21, right?
Okay. Walasham.
Walasham
Mm-hmm. Yalad.
Yulad
Mm-hmm.
Gam
Mm-hmm. Hawa'a.
Hawa'a
That's right.
Water, sir.
Abaya.
Abaya
Mm-hmm.
Ka
Mm-hmm.
Banya
Mm-hmm.
Ibar
Ibar. Mm-hmm.
Aya
Akya.
Akia
Mm-hmm. Yapath.
Yapath
Mm-hmm. Hagadawal.
Agadawal
Mm-hmm. Verse 22.
Bunya
Mm-hmm.
Shem
Mm-hmm.
Ila
Ayalam.
Ayalam
Mm-hmm.
Wa Ashur
Mm-hmm. Wa Ashawar.
Wa Ashawar
Mm-hmm.
Wa
Ara.
Ra'ab
So like it was it?
Genesis 10 and 22.
Yeah.
Wa
Wa Ara. Pa Kayashad.
Payakashad
Walawad.
Walawad
Mm-hmm.
Wayaram
Mm-hmm.
verse 23
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Wabanya.
Wabanya
Mm-hmm.
Aram
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm. It's Iwataza.
Wataza
Mm-hmm.
Wahal
Wakawal.
Wakawal
Mm-hmm. Wagathar.
Wagathar Wamash
Mm-hmm. Wamash.
24
Mm-hmm. This is the last one because it was 18, right? 18 and 21. Yeah, it's the last verse.
Wa
Wa'arapah.
Parsad.
Yeah, I think the P and the K join. So Wa'arapah.
Wa Parsad.
Mm-hmm.
Yalad. Atah.
Yeah.
Salah.
Salah. Mm-hmm.
Wasalah.
Mm-hmm.
Yalad.
Mm-hmm.
Atah. Akbar.
There it is. So in the English, we're going back to verse 18.
That's 25?
So what we did, we started at 18, right? 18,
I'm at 25
No,
right
we
now.
started at 19.
Oh, we did? Okay, Slocky. My bad. One more verse.
Wait, we learn how to count?
I thought we started at 18. I'm trash. Slocky.
Yeah.
All right, verse 25. Wala Ibar.
Wala Abar.
Mm-hmm.
Yalad.
Mm-hmm.
Sanah.
Shanya.
Shanya.
Mm-hmm.
Banahayim.
Banyam.
Banyam.
Mm-hmm. Sham.
Sham.
Mm-hmm.
Ha'achad.
Ha'achad. Mm-hmm. Palag.
Palag.
Mm-hmm.
Kaya. By Yana.
Bayamyan.
Bayamyan.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Napal. Napalaga.
Panaga.
Mm-hmm.
Haratazah.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Washam.
Washam.
Mm-hmm. Akyam.
Akim.
I think so. Yeah, Akyawa. That's what it is.
Akiyabu.
Mm-hmm. Yaquatan.
Yaquatan.
Mm-hmm. What's up?
A couple yards in there. I'm blowing it up. Go ahead, let's read it in English.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 19. And the border of the Canaanites was from Sidon, as thou comest to.
So now it's getting even more specific, right? Now it's talking about the borders of the Canaanites. The Lord really wants you to know something about these Canaanites and something about these Mizraimians and these Hamites. The Lord wants you to know about the Hamites. The Lord just don't want to skip over the Hamites like he did Japheth. You feel me? So the Lord is he told you all about his sons and his different tribes and the sons of Cush and Nimrod, and you know what I mean? He's telling you about this, right? And now he's telling you about the Canaanites, and then he's going to tell you about the borders of the Canaanites. So let's go ahead and get that.
Come.
But if you remember in the last chapter in Genesis 9, it said Canaan was going to be cursed. Right? Canaan was going to be cursed. He's going to be the servant of servants. You feel me? So the Hamites already made to serve for the Blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans. But now they're going to be serving the servants. So they're going to be the servile class of the servants. You dig what I'm saying? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 19. And the border of the Canaanites. And the border of the Canaanites from Sidon, as thou comest to Gerar, unto Gaza,
right?
As thou goest unto Sodom and Gomorrah, and Admah, and Zebulun, even unto Lasha.
Right. Okay, so Sodom and Gomorrah is 5 cities, right? That's the 5 cities right there. Sodom, Gomorrah, Admah, and Zeboim and Lasha. Right? That's the 5 cities of Sodom and Gomorrah right there, right?
Okay.
You feel me? So even back then, Africans were gay, homosexual. Yeah. They were homosexuals. Even back then, Africans were homosexuals. Because we all know about Sodom and Gomorrah, which we're going to get into in the next chapter.
Right.
But we all knew about Sodom and Gomorrah, how Sodom and Gomorrah was homosexual and they want to have sex with the angels that came to visit Lot. You know what I mean?
Right.
Even back then, Africans were homosexual. Ain't that something? Ooh-wee. And Captain Tazariak brought it out on how homosexual they are. They were back. The Egyptians were. This is a whole different nation of Africans and still homosexual. Hey, the spirit beareth witness. Right. You know what I mean? They spirit bear witness of homosexuality. What's up, Art?
So I like how this is going into real specifics, because when people try to dispute the UPK, try to say we're not this and we're not that, we can always go back to these records and show exactly who's who. You know, like I remember when Captain Tazariak was going against the Egyptologists, and you remember what's that goofy guy's name? Shaka Amose or something like that.
Shaka Amos.
Yeah, Shaka Amos or something like that. Like, and he was feminine, right? Like he was, and then they was buffing him up like he was supposed to be some kind of Hebrew killer, like in the debates and stuff. But he turned out to be just another soft, unlearned cat. And it goes to show that same spirit, even from back then, is still in them cats today. If they're even from them, maybe they took on their spirit, but
he became another victim of Captain Tazariak.
Yeah,
you know, so you feel me? You feel me? Captain Tazariak slayed the whole like Officer Dawood said. He said he when he was a young man, a trooper, he said he was seeing doctrines get slayed every week. You know what I mean? In a matter of 4 weeks, all of Egyptology, Christianity, and Islam was all dead. Right. You know what I'm talking? Because of Captain Tazariak, in a matter of 4 weeks, a month, he said he's seen everything die in a month. He was like, yeah, this is the truth. Yeah. You know what I mean? And this must be the truth. Like, it's just because you see how specific the Bible got.
Yeah,
you feel me? That's like no other book is going to get that specific, and then no other book is also going to have prophecies in it. You know what I mean? That's why we're able to smash anything with the Bible, anything and everything with the Bible. I just need a regular bottle of water. What's up?
Prophecies that's coming to pass.
Yeah, right now. That was written. Even if you talk about the curses was written 4,000 years before it happened. It's now our history. But when Moses was talking about it, it was happening. It was supposed to happen. It's going to happen 4,000 years from now. You know what I'm talking about? That's wild. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's crazy. But now it's our history. That's how we, you know what I mean? So like some stuff hasn't even came to pass yet, but we're looking at it come to pass. You know what I mean? Like when God got back together, when Gog and Magog got together, right? We was looking like we knew who Gog was. We knew who Magog was. And we was like, when they gonna get back together? Then they got back together, and then now we in the middle. We're gonna be in the middle of World War III. Ooh, you know what I mean? But then the whole world is still in a daze. You know what I mean? The whole world is still in a daze, trying to figure out what's gonna happen, trying to see if they can come back, if they can come back to a peace and all that. Hey, there is no peace because the Most High don't want it to be peace. There would never be peace until Israelites are ruling the earth, because the Most High don't want it to be peace. The Most High wants World War III to happen. It's gonna happen. Ain't nothing they can do about it. There's nothing they can do about it. They're waiting to press buttons for bombs and don't even know why. Just to, you know what I mean? The Most High is making them push the button. They like, I don't even know why I'm pushing this button, but go ahead and send the bombs. Boom. You know what I mean? Because the Most High does all things. You know what I mean? Come on, I know you got a question. Go ahead.
What are they fighting over right now?
Whatever they want to fight, whatever the Most High wants them to fight over. But I mean, Russia and America has had problems since the end of World War II. They've had problems, and that's what every war is about. Somebody, Russia going somewhere or America going somewhere, and then Russia raises up somebody to counteract that presence of America in that place. Right. It's always about white people. It's always about white people. Even when like the communist countries and the democracy countries, that's what that's about. Russia's communist and America's democracy. So somebody makes a communist country, democracy country. Russia has to go in there and switch that all around. They make a democracy country communist. Somebody got to go in there and switch that all around. It's always about America and Russia. They just make it look like that because they say it's the ISIS and the Taliban beefing with each other.
but one is a common. You know what I mean? One is, you know what I mean? It has to counterbalance each other, and that's just all white people do.
I say, just like he said, doing things and not knowing why. Just like
a
lot of people going to war, our people, you may know somebody in war or something like that, or in the army, they don't know why they're going to war, just because the white man and the people in there got something to beef about, so guess what, they're going to send all the little people in. Like I said, with the Marines, they send them in there just to be crash test dummies to die.
Like, if I may, George Bush was in the military. The second George Bush, he was in the military, never went to war. He was an army deserter. He deserted the army. He went AWOL and never got brought up on charges. Why? Because his daddy is the first George Bush, rich white man. But they'll send you to the war. They'll send you to war because they don't care about your mama. They don't care about your daddy. They don't care about you. But they do care about George Bush because that's somebody rich and powerful and famous. It's like Donald Trump. Donald Trump ain't never went to war. They don't care about they don't. That's why when 9/11 happened, they were at every school, in every hood, in every barrio, and every reservation, recruiting kids out of high school to go to the military. But they wasn't over there in the rich folks with the white folks doing that. But they did come to the hood because they know where the warriors are. They know we grew up in that. We grew up with gunshots and things like that and happening, but they don't. You know what I mean? They'd rather send you to war and die for a country that don't love them instead of for them dying for their country.
They still do that to this day.
I know. I just had to put it in. I'd have to put it in perspective for then. You know what I mean? All right, and like I was saying, democracy and stuff like that. Even now, Russia and Ukraine never really had problems like that. You know what I mean? Somebody's messed with Ukraine, Russia step in, but then now they wanted Ukraine to be a part of NATO, and then now Ukraine getting backed up by NATO, and Russia told them to step back,
right? And
they didn't want to step back. You feel me? So Russia was like, all right, y'all don't want to step back. I shut everything down. You know what I mean? And went into Ukraine with war, like, you know what I mean? With war in his heart. But nobody wants to listen. It's just like when they had in Cuba, when Russia put bombs in Cuba and America told them to take the bombs out of Cuba, what they do, they put all types of sanctions on Cuba and embargo. And now Cuba still has cars from like the 40s and the 50s because nobody can do trade with them.
Right.
No German cars, no new Benzes, no new Lexuses, no new nothing. So they still have cars from the 40s and the 50s in Cuba right now.
I was just adding to what you were saying. Everything going on over there is biblical. But the problem with the world is they look at the Bible like it's a religious book. This book is specifically about laws and history, and because it has prophecy in it, that's where it becomes spooky to the nations, because they try to come up with their own interpretations of it. And they try to superimpose their culture like as if it's a part of it. That's why when you look at what I think Joe Biden just went over to to the Middle East to speak with some of the leaders of like the Israeli state, to tell them that they're willing to use military force against the Iranians to prevent them from getting access to nuclear weapons. Well, guess what? The Iranians is just another proxy to Russia, just like how Ukraine right now is just a proxy army for the United States. That's why they're giving them billions and billions of dollars of weapons for them to fight against the Russians. So it's a proxy war. They're fighting over resources. They're fighting over oil. They're fighting because the fake Jews that are in the land, the Israeli state, they weren't even there at the beginning of World War I. They weren't even in that land. They were like in different parts of Europe and things like that. And the British invaded the Ottoman Empire during World War I so they could So they can try to get a hold of the oil in the land, and then to get a foothold of what you now know after World War II as the Israeli state, which was a very small piece of the Middle East, of what they now call Israel. It's grown, and they've used manipulation and lies to take over that land because they want to try to make the land theirs as if it was always them, as if they were the real Israelites. And that's not the truth.
If I may, you ever heard of the Crusades?
The Crusades?
Yes. There's been 3 different Crusades. There's been one where Christianity then tried to take over the Holy Land. right? And then there's one where the Islam has took back over the Holy Land, and then there's another one where Christianity came back again. You know what I mean? And then now we're looking at it's like a fourth crusade, basically.
Right.
A fourth crusade, basically, because everybody needs stake to that claim. I mean, everybody needs claim to that land right there to say that they are that their religion is solidified.
Right.
You know what I mean? Meanwhile, when the Bible is talking about Israel, it's not talking about a place. It's talking about a people. You know what I mean? You understand that? You understand that? He had his hand up first.
And this one, when they was going in there, weren't they killing people if you didn't convert over?
Yeah.
And it doesn't even say we're in our own land. It says we're spread out.
Yeah. You know what I mean? But they want to pretend that they're Jewish people, so they wouldn't be able to have rulership over the whole earth. You know what I mean? Like they do out over the Diamond District, over the entertainment district, over the entertainment, over music and everything like that. They wouldn't have rulership over all of that if they wouldn't in that land or they could proclaiming to be us. You know what I mean? Because they're not the Lord's chosen people. They know it. We know it. The whole world knows it. Everybody's just scared to say something. Even Nick Cannon knows it. And Nick Cannon said something about it, and they damn near shut his whole life down. They pulled him from movies and pulled his TV show and everything till he had to apologize. Really, he shouldn't apologize. He should have came to the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We would have helped him fight that battle. You know what I mean? But he like I said earlier, he's ashamed.
That's right.
He's ashamed and he's scared. You know what I mean? Because he doesn't really believe in the Lord. He has a zeal for the Most High, but not of knowledge.
Right.
You know what I mean? But not of knowledge. But he should have came to he should have came to the real priests and prophets.
That's right.
Everybody's not meant to do this job. Everybody's not meant to be a priest and a prophet. Everybody's not meant to go to camp. Everybody's not meant to teach class. Everybody's not meant to be a warrior. Some people just need to tend to the sheep and make money and pay tithes. Everybody's not built for shamar. You know what I mean? Everybody's not built to build camp equipment and make garments. Everybody's not built to be a priest and prophet. But just because you're not built to be a priest and prophet don't make you not a chosen seed of Israel. Don't mean the Lord don't work special with your hands.
Right.
You know what I mean? You understand that? All right. As long as everybody understand that. Who's that?
Super Ma'aitazah from Macunia.
Okay.
Sign Christ.
We keep reading out Salakia.
Come. Verse 20. These are the sons of Ham, after their families, after their tongues, and their countries, and in their nations.
Right. The Lord divided them also from everybody. The Lord was like, all right, this is y'all's land. I'm going to give y'all your own land, your own tongue. I'm going to give you everything you need to survive on your own, away from everybody. Y'all don't need to mix and mingle. That's what the Lord told him. That's what he said right there. He did it in verse 5. Now he's doing it in verse 20, what?
20.
In verse 20. You know what I mean? Two different nations, they brothers, but Lord separated them and their children. That's simple. It's that simple. You feel me? The Lord is a separatist. The biggest separatist on this planet is the Most High. You think the white man is a separatist until you get into this Bible and start seeing how the Lord divided everybody, nations. He divided brothers. The Lord divided brothers up. You know what I mean? We grew up together. They was like 92 years old, 93 years old, living. You know what I mean? Living together. Then the Lord was like, all right, I'm gonna divide y'all up. You feel me? Y'all understand that?
Come.
All right, so don't never let nobody tell you that one human family, brother. We one human family. The Lord didn't say that. You'd never find that in the Bible, but you will find out. You will see in the Bible where the Lord divided the human family, but you won't see them all living together.
Right.
And when they did live together, the Lord destroyed that tower of Babel. He destroyed that and made everybody made everybody speak different languages because he didn't want everybody speaking the same languages and understanding each other.
Right.
You feel me? Straight up, he wanted us to go to the Chinese place, and they like, you know what I mean? You try to talk to them, like, huh? Huh? Like they don't understand what you're saying. Good. I don't want you to understand what I'm saying. Yeah, how about you sharp break that? Yeah, you know what I mean?
I don't know if you'd say that to them.
I wouldn't say that to them, but you know, so if we go in there together, I'm gonna say it to you. You feel me?
You go shalom, mawaba.
Yeah. You feel me? You feel me? You feel me? You know what I'm talking about? Shema, you know what I'm talking about? Yasha. You feel me? I can't even say it right now.
Yeah, and so like I gotta add this too, because this is a good like when you're talking about doing the blue letter Bible,
yeah,
these are really good chapters to study because because it goes over the names of the nations.
Straight up.
A lot of the names that you see in here, you're gonna see these names on things later on, like the.
Hold your point.
Yeah, you're gonna see names like this all throughout the scriptures, but it's important to know them, especially in the Hebrew. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's very important to know them in the Hebrew.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't know them in the Hebrew, a fake Israelite group will cut you. Y'all think I'm playing? A Christian, you feel me? Y'all think I'm playing? Y'all think I'm playing? It's just that real. You know what I mean? And you got to remember that Christians been Christians all their lives. You've been in the truth what? A month? 3 months? You know what I mean? 5. I don't want to hear from you. You know what I mean? You feel me? You dig what I'm saying? So you gotta be more we gotta be studying. You know what I mean? Because a Christian been a Christian forever. So they gonna bring up stuff you ain't never heard before. Like, you know what I'm talking about? You gotta stick to the truth. You gotta know. You know what I mean? You gotta know these stories of the Bible. Right. Like Officer Tapassar. Officer Tapassar know the stories of the Bible. You feel me? Hey. You can keep reading.
Come. Verse 21. And Shem also, the father of all the children of Eber, the brother of Japheth.
Right, now we getting into Shem. He the brother of Japheth. He didn't even mention Ham. You know, so they don't like Ham. You feel me? Remember, Ham tried to shame his daddy by telling you drunk and you know. So y'all remember that last chapter? When, huh? Yeah. He tried to shame his daddy and stuff. They you know what I mean? They like big brothers picking on their little brother. Ham, you feel me? Like, you know what I'm saying? Shut up. You know what I'm saying? Go over there, bro. You feel me? I'm tired of you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? You know how you do your little brother. You know what I'm saying? Trying to make him tough. Put him in headlocks, you know what I mean? You feel me? But anybody else mess with your brother, you be like, hey, I can do that. You feel me? You can't do that, but I could do that, but you can't do that. You feel me? That's what they doing. They just picking on their little brother. You know what I mean? Go ahead.
The brother of Japheth, the elder.
Right.
Even to him were children born.
Right.
The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur.
Right.
And Arphaxad.
Yep.
And Lud.
Uh-huh.
And Aram.
Right. So now it's getting into the children of Shem. You know what I mean? If you know anything about Shem, it's not the God of Japheth. It's not a God of Ham no more. Of Ham. It's not even the God of Noah no more. It's the God of Shem.
Right.
You know what I mean? The Lord chose Shem out of those three boys. The Lord chose Shem to deal with. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The Lord. That's how the Most High do. You feel me? That's how the Most High do. The Most High have all these people, and he be like, I choose you. You the one I want. You feel me? Then he'll choose here. You have 7 kids. He be like, I want that one. You feel me? You have 3 more kids. He be like, I want that one. You know what I'm talking about? He don't choose everybody. Like the Christian church, how you believe now? Every Christian church is where the Lord dwells. Yeah, right. You know what I'm talking about? The Lord don't dwell with every Israelite group. The Lord dwells with commanding General Yohana.
It's almost like going to pick a bully or a dog. You go get the runts. That one.
Yeah. Well, we were the runts. We were the runts. We were the smallest nation. We wasn't the mightiest nation. We was hard-headed. But he was like, I want that one. That's what the Lord said. I want that one. And he made the runt of the litter of and the small one to be the greatest nation on the planet. The most hard-headed nation to be the greatest nation on the planet. That's what the Lord did, because we were the hard-headedest. If I don't know if that's a word, but we were the hard-headedest. We were the worst. We were the most disloyal, you know what I mean, disobeying children. If you and your brother was your dad, if you and your brother was there, and your son was all your little brother was always messing up, your daddy would have chose him. You know what I mean? That's how the Lord chose us, because it wouldn't be nothing if he got a nation that listened to him all the time. You know what I mean? What would the Bible story look like then? We came out of Egypt and we just ruled the rest of the Bible because we listened. You know what I'm talking about? I did exactly what we did. You feel me? Then Christ would never have to come and die for nobody. You feel me? The story will be boo-boo, trash. But now we got the greatest story ever told, because we did mess up. And every time we messed up, the Lord punished us. But then we came back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and the Lord raised us up again. That's the underdog story.
Right.
You feel me? Everybody loves the underdog. You ever seen that movie, Rudy?
Yeah.
I love that movie. You know, it's about an old Edomite playing football. I love that movie, Rudy. Like, it's about the underdog. I like Rocky too. I just know he ain't gonna whoop Apollo Creed, but
right.
Whatever.
That little Drago.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, that's that. Like the Russian that Creed would have whooped Drago in real life.
Right.
They bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, they BS.
Right.
You know what I mean? Let's keep reading.
Come, verse 23. And the children of Aram, and Uz,
yes, Uz,
and Hul,
mm-hmm.
and Gether,
Yep,
and Mash,
mashed potatoes.
Salaki. I got
Now, Ooze is a hell of a name, though. Like, Ooze.
That's where what's the name dwelt from? Job. Job dwelt from the land of Uz. Because you know Job, nobody knows when Job was. We just know it's in Job should be somewhere in Genesis. Yeah, I know you didn't know that. I just blew your mind. did y'all know that? Yeah, Job was supposed to be somewhere in Genesis. The
book of Job was supposed to be in Genesis?
Yes. Job lived in the time of Genesis.
So he was in. This was before Israel,
huh?
That story is just way over there. Like,
it's just in the Bible. He was a man that walked with the Most High. He was like Abraham. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I think he could have been. He should have been before Abraham. I think he was before Abraham.
oh, so I was gonna say, so it's like
Right, sir. He was before Abraham. Job was like before Abraham. Yeah, because he couldn't have been after Abraham, because if the Lord was dealing with Abraham, then the Lord was dealing with Isaac, then the Lord was dealing with Jacob. Jacob's name changed to Israel, then he dealt with the 12 tribes. So he had to be before Abraham.
Yeah, because Job didn't come after Israel was made, right?
Yeah, he had to be before Abraham.
Job was an Adamite. Job was the son of Adam.
Yeah, see, he was the son of Adam. Okay. Yeah.
So Job was supposed to be first before all of them.
Job was before Noah.
So why is the story like way over? So it's out of time. Like,
It's just because that's how the Most High wanted it, son. You know what I'm saying? The Most High wanted it that way, so it happened. He put it in there that way. You feel me? Go ahead.
Come. Verse 24. And Arphax begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber. And unto Eber were born two sons. The name of one was Peleg, for in his day was the earth divided.
What?
And in his days was the earth divided.
There it is. The Most High dividing stuff again.
Right.
The Most High works all about division, bro. The Most High does not want everybody living in one big melting pot. The Most High don't like America. That's why he called it Babylon the Great. And you're going to figure out why he calls it Babylon the Great in the next chapter. In the next chapter, you're going to understand why they call it Babylon the Great. Because Nimrod was the ruler of Babylon. And Babylon, that's where Babel comes from. Right? So you know, and Babel tried to reach up to heaven. Everybody was of one tongue and one understanding, and everybody tried to build a tower up to heaven to challenge the Most High. You feel me? Just like they do now in America. That's why they call it Babylon the Great. They want to challenge everything that the Most High stands for here. Most High says homosexuality is an abomination. What they do, they make it legal. You know what I mean? Right now, Roe versus Wade got overturned, and everybody's upset. Everybody's going against the Most High. Everybody out there protesting and holding up signs saying, keep your laws off my body. They're going against the Most High. You have a woman and she likes abortion and all that. They're going against the Most High.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. What's up? Of course. Rome was going against the Most High. This is America's just an extension of Rome. What's up?
Slakia, just to kind of clarify something here, because you know the Most High gave the law, statutes, and commandments to Israel.
Yeah.
Right? So homosexuality is a sin, and that's a sin that only gets punished to Israelites that commit those things. But Babylon or Sodom and Gomorrah existed before Israel was even founded, and they were committing homosexual acts. There was no like the law, like technically the laws weren't given to Israel at that point, but it was still something that the Most High saw as unclean and blasphemous and abomination, right?
Right.
And that's kind of how even still the Most High sees it, as they are against him because they do those things. Yeah. Now, not that they're given the law, but it's still something that should be purged from the earth.
Sodom and Gomorrah was Africans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm talking about? Most things started with Africans. You feel me? And then other cultures just took it on and they called it something different, and they called it something different, and then they just reiterated in the earth. That's why Christians. That's why the Egyptologists say the Christian story is on the walls of Egypt, because the Christian story is on the walls of Egypt. Not the Bible though. The Bible and Christianity are two totally different things.
Right.
You know what I mean? That virgin birth is on the walls of Egypt, but that's not in the Bible,
right?
You know, that's not like it's not in the Bible, but they, you know what I mean? It's just they, what would you call it?
I know what you're talking about. It's the folklore.
Yeah. Basically, it's mythology.
It's all tales.
Yeah, and every what's the name takes over that and just reiterates it. Greek people, they have one too. They call demigods. That Zeus came down and had sex with some mother, and Perseus was born. You know what I mean? All the gods come down and have sex with a woman, and this is born. But really, they're just whores, and they had sex with this man and that man, and they don't want their husband to find out. Hey, that's how it was. But the Bible don't say that. The Bible said Joseph had sex with Mary and they became husband and wife because they had sex with each other. Sex is marriage in the Bible. It's that simple. It's not rocket science, but they want to be they want to make it something that it's not. Simplicity in Christ. It's very simple. You don't have to think too much, think too hard, or you know what I mean? It's very, very, very simple to understand Christ. Christ is very simple. The Most High is very simple. You feel me? Like in the curses, do what I say, you'll be blessed. Don't do what I say, you'll be cursed. That's very simple, right? You feel me? That's very simple. Yeah. You feel me? Your parents are very simple like that. Do what I say, I won't spank that. You know what I'm talking about? Don't do what I say, I'm gonna beat that to the curb. You feel me? And then you're gonna be on punishment in your room forever. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you feel me? Not really forever, just, you know what I mean? They want to exaggerate. That's like the Most High say. You know what I'm talking about? They're gonna be upon you and thy seed forever. You know what I'm talking about? Those curses, they're upon you and thy seed forever, but it's not gonna be forever. We know that it's not gonna be forever because you know what I mean? We're coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments, and one day Christ's gonna come back and we're gonna be in rulership. Is that it on 25?
Sir.
All right, go ahead.
Come. And his brother's name was Joktan.
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 That nigga name is.
At verse 26.
No, we didn't read verse 26, did we?
Nah.
25.
You think we can make it through the next 6 verses with Ira?
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's get it.
We almost done with the chapter.
I know, that's why I'm trying to get done with the chapter, so then that way next week we can get it. We can hit Babel and Sodom and Gomorrah, and y'all can see how really wicked it was.
Becoming like 2 or 3 classes right there.
Yeah, because the angels came into Sodom and Gomorrah, and they really tried to have sex with the angels, to where they was outside.
Spoiler alert.
Go ahead. Right, they were outside. What's the names? They were outside of what's that boy's name? Lot's house. Oh no, Sodom and Gomorrah is later on in the.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. But now it's gonna be the Tower of Babel. Let's see if you can get it. I know you were practicing.
Come on with it.
Ayara, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yasharala.
Ayara, Ban Yahawada, Ban Yashala. Hamajim. And then you go in Barak. And then you say the salute.
Shalom Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabarakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabarakatah.
La Yashala.
La Yashala. It ain't gonna hurt you.
That's the note I'm trying to hit. That's the note right there.
All right, with that, Mashavi, which means to see it. You got the Bible Hub app?
Mhm.
We need to get it to knock out. Akim. We need to get it to knock. We gotta start looking for one, all right? A Tanakh.
You know how to turn it to the Hebrew.
The Torah.
Yeah.
The Thawara.
First books of the Bible.
Interlinear. No.
Looks like a thing so we can like have it and then
And then go to Wilbur.
Genesis 10. And we're at verse 26, right? 26.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all doing some excellent reading, man.
Hell yeah, y'all come together.
Y'all turn, keep on coming to Sabbath service where you're gonna become excellent.
We're gonna be having full conversations.
Probably not. Can somebody text Officer Dawda and see if he can grab some ice? Did you put the two? Would you put the what's names in the
oh, the audio's going on.
All right. Genesis 10:26. Wayakwatan.
Wayakantan.
Yalad.
Yalad.
Atha.
Ata.
Alamawadad.
Alawamadad. Atad. Atad what?
Wa'atha.
Wa'atad.
Shalat.
Shalat. See his back, man.
Wa'atha.
Wa'ata.
This one's confusing, but you just take it one letter at a time. Ha.
Ha.
Taza.
Taza.
Ra.
Ra.
Ma.
Ma.
Wath.
Wath.
I'm trying to put it together. Ka.
Ka.
Taza Ra. Ma Wath.
Ka. Tazara. Mawath.
Wa'atha.
Wa'ata.
Yara.
Yara.
Verse 27. Wa'atha.
Wa'ata.
Hadawaram.
Wahadaram.
Mhm.
Atha.
Mhm. Awazal.
Awazah.
Wa'ata.
Wa'ata.
Aquala.
Dakwala.
It's like a daquala. There it is.
Dakwala.
Mhm. Verse 28.
Wahata.
Mhm. I wabal.
I wabal.
Mhm.
Awata.
Wa'ata.
Wa'ata.
Mhm.
Wa'ata.
Abba ya ma'al.
About Moal.
Just one letter at a time. So Abba ya
Abaya.
ma'al. Ma'al.
Ma'al.
Mhm.
Wa'ata.
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 Shaba'ah.
Shaba'ah.
Now, verse 29.
Wa'ata.
Awapar.
Apat.
Awapar.
Awapar.
Wa'ata.
Wa'ata.
Hawa yala.
Hawa Allah.
Yala.
Yala.
So Hawa yala.
Hayawala.
Close enough. Wa'ata.
Wa'ata.
Yawabab.
Wayabab.
Yawabab. And then Kal.
Kal.
Allah.
Allah.
Banya.
Banya.
Yaquatan.
Yaquantan.
Verse 30. Wayahaya.
Wayahaya.
Ma wa shabam.
Waya Shabam.
Ma masha'a.
Mashaya. Mashaya.
Yeah, ma masha'a. Ba'aka.
Ba'aka.
Sapara.
Sapara.
Har.
Har.
Hakwadam.
Hakwadam.
Like, you know how when we say Yapanya Hakwadam, Yapani's turn, Sar, turn and face the east. Look at that word. Hakwadam. Right
Hakwadam.
there. That's a perfect example of it. 31. Allah.
Allah.
Banya.
Banya.
What does that say?
Shem.
Sham.
Sham.
Okay. So one letter at a time. Lama.
Lama.
Sha.
Sha.
Pa.
Pa.
Kha.
Ka.
Thumb.
Thumb. La Param.
You move to the next one?
No, I was trying to say it together.
Oh, yeah. Lama Shapa. Lama Shapach Thumb.
Lasha Pa. Lasha.
Lama Shapach Thumb.
Lasha Pahash.
Yeah. Pa. Like you've been to Hakalugi, like Pa. Pach Thumb.
Pachdam.
La Lasha Na Thumb.
La Lasha Nadam.
And then Ba Ra Taza Thumb.
Bara Tasa Thumb.
Just like how Arataza means land or earth, Taza Thumb means multiple lands in their land. So Ba Arataza, so like this. Ba Arataza Thumb. And the next one is La Gawai Yaham.
La Gowayim Laham.
La Gawai Yaham. Last verse. Allah.
Allah.
Masha. Wait, hold on. Masha pa tha.
Masha Pa Tha.
Banya.
Banya.
Nach.
Nach.
La Thawalad.
La Tawadam.
Thumb.
Thumb.
La Thawalad Thumb.
La Tawadam.
Bagawai Yaham.
Bagawa Yaham.
Wa ma'ala.
Wa ma'ala.
Na paradawa. So like a na paradwa.
Na paradra.
Ha gawayam.
Ha gawayam.
Arataza.
By arataza. Akar.
Ha mabawal.
Ha mabawal.
Yep, that's it. All right, so now you just got to read it in English. What verse do we pick up at?
Y'all gonna need to study. Y'all gonna need to study this Hebrew.
26.
If y'all don't have the picture of the Hebrew, y'all all you gotta do is go online and look up Lashawan Kodash Isupk in Google, and it'll bring up a whole what's the name. You can just save it to your phone, download to your phone. You can take a picture of this one. That's all you have to do. You feel me? And you need to study the what's the name, because we're not gonna be pronouncing the word for you, and then you just follow after, because you're not learning anything. Then you have to try to match up the word and look up the, you know what I mean? Look up the letter to this letter and make the sound. You know what I mean?
Come on.
All that holding your hand, y'all troopers. You know what I mean? Troopers now. You do what I'm saying? You feel me? Hey, it gets like that, man. It gets like that. Yeah, we gonna toss you in the ring. We're not gonna let you drown. We're gonna toss you in the water, but we're not gonna let you drown. But we're not gonna be holding your hand. We're gonna have to paddle, doggy paddle if you got to. You know what I mean? Go ahead, we can start. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 10, verse 26.
Hold on. Hey, that's how we learned, right? Right, Officer Canuck, sir? That's how we learned, right?
What's that?
By getting up there and failing at it. Getting up there at Sabbath service officer pot and failing at it. And he's looking at you like, see? And then next week you come, he gonna call you again, and we gonna get better. You know, tomorrow, because I ain't finna be looking like that every week. You feel me?
And the best thing you could do is study the alphabet.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, you feel me? That's what I'm saying.
It becomes second nature, and you'll be able to start putting the words together pretty quickly. You know what I mean? All right.
Go ahead.
Verse 26. And Joktan begotten Alamodad and Shelah and Harazamavith and Jara and Haradam and Uzal and Dukala and Obal and Abulel and Sheba and Obar and Vala and Jobab. All these were the sons of Joktan, and their dwelling was from Mesha, as thou goest unto Saphar and Mount of the east. These are the sons of Shem, after their families, after their tongues, and their lands, after their nations.
Right. So now you talking about Shem now. And he didn't even get into too many specifics about Shem and his family, because the whole book's about Shem and his family. That's the rest of the book is about Shem and his family. You feel me? About the Israelites, because we come from Shem. So he didn't even get into specifics of Shem, but he did get into specifics of the people that come from Shem, like Elamites. You ever heard of Elamites, right? The East Indians and the East Indians and the Persians. Those are Elamites. You know what I mean? So he did get into that. That way you can know who comes from Shem and who's a Shemite, right? Basically. You know what I mean? You ever heard the word anti-Semitic?
Right.
That's what they talking about.
Shem.
Anti-Shem. That's what the Jewish people say. You anti-Shemitic. Some people can't be anti-Shemitic because they are Shemitic. You're not the only ones that's Shemitic, white boys.
Mm-hmm.
Salaki. You know what I'm talking about? They're not. You feel me? They just want to take everything for themselves. You know what I'm talking about? They want to take everything for themselves, boy. You know what I'm talking about? They want to take everything for themselves, boy. They'll try to tell you they even the gods of Egypt. You know what I'm talking about? They the gods of Egypt because they the gods of Egypt. They the first Greeks. They you know what I mean? They the real Europeans, and they ain't none of that. They even the Jew people, the real Jew, the Jews, the Israelites, the Israelis, they even them. You know what I mean? They the last samurais. They all that, and they ain't none of it. Ain't that something?
All these people that we just read about from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, their lineages up until this point, they're all dark skinned, right?
Yeah,
all of them.
They're all dark skinned.
Mm-hmm. Even Japheth.
Mm-hmm. Japheth is still dark skinned.
Right.
Japheth is dark. Well, I'm not gonna say still dark skinned because like Japheth is like some Europeans were Japhetic, like the Celts and all that, but they were dark skinned people until the Romans took over that land and things like that. Right. Like the like the Goths. Yeah, the Goths and the Germanic people, they're Japhetic, but they're really dark skinned people. Right. It's just Rome took over that land and conquered those lands, and they started mating with those people over there, made their skin lighter. And then sometimes they took over the land, and they just moved people from Rome into those lands, and then they took over those names. Right. You know what I mean? Like the Franks, the Goths, the Celts. You know what I mean? The Anglo-Saxons. You dig what I'm saying? That's what Rome did. Do y'all understand that? Come. All right. They're vagabonds. You feel me? They're vagabonds. They're thieves, so they take everybody else's culture. Like Alexander, he was a Macedonian. But he's not a real Macedonian. That's why if you look at the lineage of the kings of Macedonia, it went from like Hanapepe and Halkazar to Philip. You know what I mean? The thing about it is like the Macedonians used to hire Edomites to come fight for them. You feel me? To be in their army and come fight for them. And then one day King Philip, the king of the Edomites, just took over Macedonia and called himself the King of Macedonia. You know what I mean? And then his son Philip II was Alexander's daddy. And then Alexander's daddy conquered all of Greece. And then Alexander just inherited that kingdom. You understand that? Yeah, it is. You didn't understand it? That's a lot. I feel it. You have to do history. You have to do history. You have to really read history and really do some history work to figure things out like that.
It's a lot here. But brothers and sisters nowadays, we just want to watch a movie of it. You know what I mean? That's how the white man's got us, because he likes to whitewash all the people in the movies, and brothers, especially brothers in the world. It's like they don't want to read no history books. You know what I'm saying? But they'll go see a movie. They'll go see the new Thor movie. They'll go see the Justice League and all that stuff, and they'll remember every detail in those movies.
Curious George over here.
No, it's because the school systems have tired us out from reading books and everything. They get you bored and everything. You're like, I don't want to read history books no more because that bored me out. Like, we were always.
That's a good point.
They taught us white people in the school.
I'm not. They did teach us white people in school, but you can still do your own. That's why you have to do your own research. Don't even take what I say for face value. Do some research about it. You know what I mean? Don't believe that. That's why we tell you all the time: bring your own Bible, follow along with us, read with us. You know what I mean? Don't just take what I say, because then that's the Christian church. Yeah. You know what I mean? Christian pastor get up there, read 2 verses, and then give you a 30-minute sermon. You feel me? No, we don't do that. We read the Bible with us. Ask questions. You know what I mean? Ask questions. Real talk. And be like, sir, I don't understand that. Can you repeat that and give me another example? Because I don't get that. And there's nothing wrong with it. That's the job of a teacher. That's the job of a teacher, is to teach. You know what I mean? And if you don't understand, that's the job, is to ask questions, and the teacher must show you, you know what I mean? Show you some more examples. You dig what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You think the men above me, if I call them and ask them a question, and I'll be like, like you, sir, I still don't understand. You know what I mean? I've had Officer Dawada on the phone for 30 minutes to an hour breaking down the same scripture. You know, Slocky, sir. I just don't. So you feel me? Real talk. That's real deal. Holyfield. I've had him do that for like 30 minutes, breaking down one scripture, the same scripture, because I didn't understand it and he broke it down different ways until I understood it. That's the job. To make sure we're prepared. You know what I mean? And that way I can be like, okay, and I can break it down 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Not 30 minutes, like 20 minutes of breaking it down. You feel me? I ain't gonna be like, I ain't gonna toot my harm on that. You know, so I could do 10, 15 minutes. You feel me? No sweat. We keep reading.
That was all 6 of them.
That's all 6 of them?
Yeah, we stopped at 31.
Yeah, 32.
32.
Oh, 32.
Yeah, because now Shem has his own family, his own language, his own lands,
right,
away from his brothers.
Verse 30. Oh,
everybody has their own lands. The Lord is a separatist. The Lord separated all 3 brothers. Go ahead.
Verse 32. These are the families of sons of Noah after their generations.
After their what?
Generations.
What's a generation?
Lineage. Right?
Mm-hmm. What's a generation?
Like lineage. Like people pass down. Like, all right. People going down.
No, you said it right the first time. Lineage. You feel me? This boy, I'm trying to tell you. He gonna be the one that break it down 30 minutes. He gonna be, he gonna be cold. I'm trying to tell you.
First good, you know.
Go ahead, keep going.
On one concert in their nations.
Spell that word there.
THEIR.
Meaning possessive. You know what I'm talking about? Meaning possessive. Like, so in their nations, that means they have their own nations.
Right.
It's possessive. Right? Because you know how you have there, and there, right? 3 different theirs. That's a possessive there. So that's theirs. Like Japheth has his nation, Ham has his nations, and then Shem has his nations. Very simple, right?
Okay.
I don't know what the Christian church talking about with the human family, brother. You don't read very well. You know what I'm saying? You can't comprehend. Go ahead.
On one con. And by these were the nations divided in the
what?
Nations divided.
No, they were all together in one melting pot.
Nations divided.
They were divided. They were set apart, separate. Go ahead.
In the earth after the flood.
Right. They were divided in the earth after the flood. Yeah, we all come from Adam. And yeah, from Ham, Shem, and Japheth. You know what I mean? But the Lord divided all that. The Lord divided us up after the flood. The Lord didn't want us all living together. The Lord did not want you in the suburbs. And the Lord did not want the suburbs living in the hood. The Lord wants the hood to be the hood and the suburbs to be the suburbs and the barrios to be the barrios and the reservations to be the reservations. Even if you look at Israelites, right? Everybody had their own land. We had the land of Judah, the land of Issachar, the land of Naphtali, the land of Benjamin, the land of, you know what I mean? Everybody had their own piece of Israel. You know what I mean? That's how it's supposed to be. That's how it's supposed to be. It's only different here in America. Like in China, everybody's Chinese until you get to like American embassies and things like that. Everybody, Chinese people are neighbors with Chinese people.
Right.
Even here in America, Chinese people are neighbors with Chinese people. They have their own Chinatown in America, separate from America, but inside of America.
But okay, so there's 2 Chinese descent, right? Ashdod and Moab, right? Correct?
Ashdod, Ammon.
Ammon
and Moab. There's 2. There's 2.
So is that the
Asian?
Chinese and Asian, because you know, like you go to a Chinese person, they all look the same to me.
Yeah, me too.
But you call them Japanese? No. Koreans.
Like, then that raises a question. What about Taiwan? The Philippines.
Y'all ready? Y'all ready for it? Is there 2 Asian nations, Chinese and Japanese, right? And then but then they have children, right? And that's where you get your Cambodians and Vietnamese and Taiwan and all the different all the different different Asians.
The Shaolin.
Yeah, no, Shaolin are Chinese.
Yeah.
They all used to be together as Mongols.
Oh, that's where the word Mongolian comes
Yeah,
from.
that's what. Yeah, they all used to be together as Mongolians, and Mongolians conquered all of that area, and they conquered all the way into like East India, and they made it all the way to Rome and shit like that.
Right. And if I could, if you look up the Moab and Ammon, that entire nation is a product of incest.
Yeah.
Where their daughters went in and had sex with the fathers because they thought that it was the end of the world. That's what Ammon and Moab come from, and that's why they look retarded.
No. He's very serious because it's called Down syndrome.
It's called Down syndrome.
Oh dang!
So if you actually date, when you brought up the Mongolian Empire, that's what reminded me of it. Because if you actually look up the definition of like a Mongol, like what that is, that's like someone that has Down syndrome. It's a term for it.
Yeah, that's right. It's like, and that's why
called
Mongoloidism.
Mongoloidism. That's
sometimes that gene somehow pops up every now and then. That's why you have every now and then somebody with Down syndrome. But one thing's for sure, they all look the same, and they look kind of Chinese too.
Yeah, that's why you can't tell them apart.
Asiatic.
That's why you can't tell them apart because they got the slanted eyes, either up or down. You know what I mean? We used to make fun of them talking about Chinese, Japanese, dirty knees. Look at what I mean?
Hey, it's like all that just to make your PlayStation. You know what I'm talking about? Like
straight up. But that's where all the Chinese, that's where all the Asian countries come from. They come from Ammon and Moab. They either come from Chinese descent or they come from Japanese descent.
That's why.
Yes. Any more questions? Any more questions? Y'all sure? All right. With that, Amasha. Mark, wait. Can you close it? Mark it. Genesis, the 11th chapter.
Yeah, we know where we're at. You know what I mean?
The water, sir. Officer. No, just mark it right there. That way we know where we're at. Yeah.
Wow. That's damn like.
La Shala.
So we got to wrap the scroll.
Yeah. Wrap the scroll. It's crazy. Go learn out. Yeah, please. Y'all on.
Don't cross him.
You just second freestyle. So you gotta be the one. No offense to what. Only time y'all touch the scroll is when y'all doing it. Holding it or lock that door.
Amadium. Yapanya Hakwadam. Sar.
Start turning face to east.
Turn face to east. We're gonna finish with the Lord prayer. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'arataza, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Natalanoa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalaknao, Kabawathno, Kasalaknao, Kabawath, Wala, Tabi'ah, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hayashaya, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wala, Wataparath, La'ulamyum. Aman. I'm going to do the Lord's Prayer in English.
Our Father,
which
art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come. Thy will be done. In earth, as it is in heaven. Give us this day. Our daily bread. And forgive us our debts. As we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation. But deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom. And the power. And the glory. Forever. So be it.
All right. Oh, now we're going to salute the Torah. Blow the trumpet one more time.
Don't count.
That was excellent. Sounds like wartime.
That was clear, right?
Turn to what's the name?
Is that good?
Yep.
Pull up the chairs. Open that door. Go ahead, sir, whenever you're ready. Y'all boss him, y'all shop rock, yeah.
Y'all about Shem Russia Rock up. Rock up.
Y'all boss him, y'all shop rock, yeah.
Yahabashim Yahshua Barak Yah.
Y'all about Shem y'all shop rock up. Y'all about Shem y'all shop rock up. Y'all about Shem y'all shop rock up. Y'all about Shem y'all shop rock up.
That's it. Sorry, can we jump?
Hey, what's the anointing prayer again?
It's the rank and order prayer.
Oh yeah, it is. Close that door.
You got that one? I think it's-
No, we're not. You ready? Now we're gonna get one crazy salute. Oh, did you blow the horn one more time? Gotta end it. So we just saluted the Torah. Now we have to end it. All right. Now we're gonna give one crazy salute to the brothers.
Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barak Yah.
Yad Matah. We're gonna start turning faces sisters from one crazy salute.
Men of Israel, Amajim Shabbat, Amajim, Barak,
Yahweh Shema Tamba Shem Yahshua.
Yad Matah. Class dismissed. All right. Anybody want an anointing prayer? Anybody need the anointing prayer? Anybody want the anointing prayer?